Good morning, everyone. Today we're going to continue our discussion on multiple linear regression, interaction, and diagnostics. So, uh, hopefully this will be the last uh, topic about multiple linear regression. After this, we will move on to logistic regression. And then after that, we go to panel data, a very important topic. And then we go to time series. Okay, so last time we used the ISLR, Introduction to Statistical Learning in R package. Okay, we saw that this package has many data that comes with it. By the way, there's a book. Uh, this is a book class, and it's you can access it kasi may PDF file na free. Okay, so if you're interested really in studying more the use of R for statistical learning, this is a good reference. Okay, and what we used, the data that we downloaded was the credit data. Okay, and so okay, I didn't close this, so I think my ISLR is still loaded. Ayan, it's still loaded class. Naka-check yung ISLR ko. And my credit data is still here. So I will not run that. I'll just, where's my credit data? Here, capital C here. This one, the original data class. Okay, capital C. Let me just print it. And we have here 12 columns. The first column is ID. Okay. And the next one's income, limit, rating, etc. up to balance. We said last time that balance will be okay, the balance will be our dependent variable. The rest will be our independent variables. Okay. So notice class that the credit data set has the first column is ID. We don't need this. Kasi parang index lang naman siya. No? So what we did was to create this object, small c, and then we subsetted it. This one class says that which rows? Blank means all the rows. So we're including how many rows of data? 400. 400 rows of data. And then we are removing the first one. The first column class. Okay, the first column is your ID here. We're removing this. So we're now generating this object class called, if you run this class, you'll have now small letter c, and then there are only 11 variables. 11 variables because the ID was already deleted or removed. Okay? Okay. And then let's take a look at the, let's just, I just get the summary here. No, structure. Structure of credit. So this is a data frame class. Data frame, and the variables here are income, integer, income, limit, rating, cards, age, education. Now, gender, student, married, and ethnicity are already factors. So we don't need to convert them into factors. So you have to check your data class if these were integers or if these were characters, you'll have to convert them into factors. A minute class. Okay, so you have here two levels, male and female. No, yes for student, no, yes for married, and ethnicity, African American, I think Asian, or and then Caucasian. Notice that what appears here will be the first one will be your benchmark. So it means that this was the level was changed because the default class is that the variable, the level that appears first alphabetically will be your benchmark. So between female and male, female should be your benchmark because it appears first alphabetically. But in this case, so apparently this data has already been manipulated to make sure that the male is your benchmark. And last time we said that it doesn't matter whether male is your benchmark or female is your benchmark. The estimates will be the same. Okay. In this case, class, what will appear in your regression model is gender female. Gender female because, as we said, when you have a factor and you have two levels, this is converted into a dummy variable. Okay, it can be 0 or 1 or 2. In this case, it's 1 or 2. No? So male will get 1 and female will get 2. So these values, this in particular refers to male, 2 refers to female, and male, female, etc., etc. If we take a look at credit class, here, here class, no? Student. Although class, gender here, male, okay? This is number one daw, this is number two. So 1, 2, 1, 1, 2. Okay, that's why in the structure, as you can see here, that 1, 2, 1, 2. So what appears first class is your male, okay, which means that this was the benchmark. For the others class, student, no and yes, they still maintain the default where the level that appears first will be your benchmark. So ito no, N, ito yes, Y. So this is just the standard. Also married, and then African American. Okay, so I hope that's a good review of what we discussed last time. Now I provided this code to you last time. For those of you who were not here, okay, or for those of you who didn't bring your laptops last time, okay, maybe hindi. Sorry, class. I'm sorry. This is already in your notes, no? So I don't need to give it. Okay, so we said, class, that here you're creating a variable v, okay, and then we look for v in the names of credit. Okay, ano ba yung names of credit, class? Okay, let's first run that here. Names of credit, those are the names of your variables here. Okay, so it says here, if is that factor yung credit. So which are the factors here, class? Gender, student, married, ethnicity. Okay? And then we here identify yung V, ito, no? Kasi yung V, class, stands for looking for those names that are factors. Ito. If it's factor, class, then what do we do? Okay? Write cat, class, iba? Cat concatenate means to write V. So whatever V here, class, is, ano yung V, class? Yung mga factors. Okay? Yung mga factors in the credit object. And then print table credit of V. Remember, class, table will give us the frequency distribution. Okay, because if it's a factor, then it will have levels. So it will now count how many are each of the levels. Okay, and then and the printing. Okay, cat n. All right. So if I run this class, so this is an extremely efficient way to instead of just instead of doing it one by one. Table gender, table student, table married. Here, okay, it's automatic. Just one code chunk to generate the frequency distribution of your factors. So you can see here that there are more females there are more non-students, more married, and then more uh, more Caucasian, no? African American, Asian, and Caucasian. We can also do class D instead of the table, the proportion. Okay, proportion, same thing, only that here instead of printing yung table class, print round yung proportion that table of the okay of the frequency. Iko-convert siya into percentage and then 3 decimal places. May round, diba? At saka may 3 dito. And then print again. So you have now instead of the frequency, you'll have the uh, proportion, the percentage. Okay. And then this is just I gave this also. Okay. It just includes both the frequency and then the distribution here, class. Count lang, sorry to. Count. Okay, the variable gender, student, marriage, ethnicity, and it's written in a very good table, class. This one will include the proportion. There. Variable, level, count, and then percentage. Okay, so what we did last time, class, was to create our first full model. We call it MLR1. I call it full model, class, because it includes all your predictors. And we said last time that you can write it as balance and then tilde dot. Then data is equal to credit. Okay, so by now, class, we have been exposed to so many LMs. So I hope this is already clear to you. Okay, data is equal to credit and then summary. Okay, let's do this. Okay, here. You can now see that we interpreted this last time. Okay, so there are non-significant predictors. Education is not significant. Gender is not significant. Married is not significant. Ethnicity is not significant also. So ordinarily, if we don't study stepwise regression, what we'll say is that all those predictors that are statistically significant, the 3 stars, by way of review, class, indicate that it's significant at 0.001 or, here, 0.001 or 0.1%, which is very highly significant. Okay? Kasi 'di ba ang standard natin, ang level of significance natin is normally at 5%. Ito 0.1%. Okay? So there's yung 1 star, that's the standard here, significant at 5% or 0.05. The rest are not significant. So we said last time, we interpreted this. What's the meaning of income? What's the meaning of income? On the average, income, if you take a look at the metadata, if you look at ISLR, class, and check the credit data set, income is in thousands of dollars. Okay? So this means that for every $1,000 increase in income, there's a corresponding $7.8 decrease in your balance. Okay? This is 7.8, class. This is not $7.8 thousand because the estimate here refer to your balance, and balance is in dollars. Okay, so you might get confused there. Income is in thousands of dollars. So when you interpret this negative 7.8, you're saying that for every 1,000 or for every 1 unit the increase in income. But 1 unit increase in income is $1,000. Kasi that's how income was created. No? Yung income, class, dito sa credit natin here, income is in thousands of dollars. So this is 14,891. So when you interpret income, it should be in thousands. So for every 1 unit or $1,000 increase in income, there's a corresponding $7.8 decrease in balance. Kasi yung dependent variable natin plus balance, decrease. Ceteris paribus. Same thing with limit. For every $1 increase in limit, there's a corresponding $0.19 increase in balance. Increase siya kasi positive siya. Okay? Same thing, class sa cards. For every 1 unit additional card, there's a corresponding $17.72 increase in the credit balance, ceteris paribus. Age, on the other hand, for every 1 year increase in age, there's a corresponding $0.61 decrease in balance. It's a safe class. The more you grow old, the lesser will be your credit card balance. Okay. Maybe because class, if you get older, you become more sensitive to, you become more, let's say, maybe mature. Okay. Not all, of course, in your spending in or in the use of your credit card. If you're young, you're kind of, let's say, a bit adventurous with the use of credit cards. Okay. That's just this data class. Education is not significant, but if this was significant, we're saying that for every 1 year increase in education, there's a corresponding 1.09 or $1.1 increase in balance. So maybe the interpretation of that is that if you're more educated, class, then maybe you're more prudent with the use of your credit card. Kasi nababawasan yung balance or you pay more on time. Okay. Right here, gender. If this was significant, it's not significant, class. But if this was significant, we're saying that on the average, okay, notice di ba class yung female, that's your that's your reference variable, your reference level is male. Di ba? When you looked at structure, di ba? Here, as an structure. Is it here? No, again, so at least here class male as the first one, di ba? Male. The default is female should be the first one kasi alphabetically, no? But this was re-leveled. Dinefine niya yung levels at C, male and then female. So you can do that class. But we said that you'll have the same answer anyway. So, okay, it's more for emphasis. So going back here, dun sa ano natin sa gender, it means that on the average, okay, on the average, female card holders have $10.65 less average balance than their male counterparts. Okay? So for this data class, mas ano mas well, we can say na mas magastos, okay? Ang ano natin ang mga male credit card holders. Kasi yung balance dun sa ano balance ng okay, balance ng uh, I failed to check actually, no? Yung balance. Does it mean class wait, okay, I was assuming that balance means, let me just double check, no? Okay. I think it was a bad thing on my part, not even check what the balance refers to. Yung ba yung the amount that they can use, okay, left? Kasi they've used it up already. So where's balance here? Average credit balance. Okay, so this means class that this is the amount that they can still use. Okay, kasi 'di ba may limit yung credit card. So pag sinabi natin balance, that will be the amount that they can use. So this means class that so mukhang tama to, no class? On the this is not a sexist statement, class. This means that on the average for this data, female credit card holders has $10.65 less in their balance than male counterparts, male credit card holders, no? 10.65 less. So that means class that mas maraming ginastos si female and that could be rational kasi Maybe it's the female who purchases the household items, etc., etc. Okay? Or maybe ang mga females mas prone sila sa paggamit ng credit cards for this data. This I think is actual data to, no? Yung sa ISLR. Uh, they would always use ayun, no? Sorry, simulated lang to, no? And supplying the data, simulated lang siya, which means it's not actual data. Okay? This is simulated data. All right. Okay, ganun din, no? Sa iba, ganun din yung interpretation nito. In this case, class, ito, 425, and it's highly statistically significant. We interpret this as, on the average, okay, students have a greater credit balance of $425.74 more than the non-student counterparts. Mas malaki yung credit balance nila. Why is that so? Kasi siguro student limited lang talaga yung paggamit lang ng credit cards. So yung mga non-students, most probably we can assume that they're employed. So mas ginagamit na lang yung credit card as compared to students. So mas malaki pa yung credit balance ng mga students by $425.75 more than their non-student counterparts, and it's statistically significant. And it makes sense, no? It makes sense kasi pag student, syempre, limited pa lang din yung capability niyan to pay. So, medyo constrained din sila sa paggamit ng credit card. And perhaps then, maybe the credit card does not really come from them. Baka pinagamit lang ng guardian nila or ng parents nila. Kaya because maybe that's the reason, class. All right? Yung married class, hindi siya significant, no? But if we're going to interpret this, and if this was significant, okay, we say that on the average, married credit card holders has lesser lesser balance, credit card balance, 8.53 credit card balance, less sila, no, than their non-married counterparts, ceteris paribus. So, pag mas maliit yung credit card balance ng $8.5, ibig sabihin, mas marami silang ginamit, no? Okay? Kasi mas konti na lang yung credit card balance sila. Okay, so that's how you interpret that. For lastly, class, itong ethnicity, no? Ethnicity. How do we interpret this? We interpret this in reference to the benchmark, which is the African American, no? So on the average, Asian credit card holders has $16.8 more in their credit card balance than African Americans, ceteris paribus. Which means, class, na mas less siguro gumamit yung Asian. Kasi mas mataas yung credit card balance nila. Ganon din kay Caucasian, class. Mas less yung nila, mas more yung credit card balance nila. Okay, which means that they have lesser usage of their credit card relative to the African Americans. Okay, and ceteris paribus, no? However, they're not statistically significant. Okay, I hope this is clear, class. And by the way, on the other hand, what's the intercept, class? That's the value of your credit card balance when all your predictors are zero. So how do we interpret this? On the average, people with people with no income, no credit limit, no rating, no no number of cards, which is impossible nga kasi balance nga ng credit card to, no? Wala raw uh, wait, additional credit card pala to. Let's see. Cards is a number of credit cards. So walang credit cards, di ba? So, kaya nga, class, itong intercept, we don't actually put a pragmatic interpretation to this. Kasi paano siya magkakaroon ng credit card balance kung wala naman credit cards, di ba? Kasi ito intercept, ibig sabihin zero lahat eh. Zero age, pwede ba yun? Okay? Zero age in years. So ito, zero education din. Okay? And who is male? Bakit male, class? Kasi yung male dito, class, sa gender, yun ang benchmark, yun ang zero. Right? So sasabihin natin when we read this, so ano lang to, theoretically, no? Theoretically, the intercept is the value of your credit card balance of a person who has no income, no limit, no rating, no credit cards, no age, no education, who is male, okay, who is not a student, who is not married, okay, and who is African American. Okay? Yun ang uh, negative 479. Okay? So, ibig sabihin, negative yung credit card balance niya. So, yun lang class theoretically yung ibig sabihin ng intercept. And we don't put any practical significance to this kasi hindi naman siya, it doesn't make sense. So, ibig sabihin may overpayment sila pag ganun. And then over ano pala, over over usage ng credit card. Okay? All right. But it's statistically significant. And yung intercept class, even if it's not statistically significant, you include that in the model. Okay, then we have here residual standard error. Okay, ano ibig sabihin ng residual standard error? This is the average value of your credit card balance that's that's above, no? That's above the average. So parang na-miss out natin yung yung uh, yung forecast by on the average 98 $98.79. Okay? And then we have adjusted R squared 95.38. This is quite high. It means that our model is very good in describing or in modeling the balance, no, in credit card balance. Kaya niyang i-explain 95% of the variability of your credit card balance, 95%, which is relatively high. F-stat, okay, 750.3 on 11 degrees of freedom. Saan nanggaling yung 11 degrees of freedom? This is your K plus 1. K is the number of predictors. Ilan yung predictors natin? 10 yung predictors plus 1 to account for the intercept. Okay? And then 388 degree of freedom 2. What's that? That's n minus k minus 1 or n minus degree of freedom 1. P-value class, statistically significant. And we said last time, ano ba yung ano dito class? What's the null hypothesis? Dito, class, this is what you call your overall goodness of fit, di ba? Ang null hypothesis natin dito, okay. Take note class, may F-stat siya. May p-value, ibig sabihin may null yan. May tinetest tayo. So ang tinetest natin dyan, beta 1, which is income, beta 2 is limit yata, etc. Beta 3, ilan yung predictors natin? Is equal to beta 10, 10 class, excluding your intercept, and they are all equal to 0. Okay, so that's the hypothesis here, class. And we say that we reject the null hypothesis that all your predictors are equal to 0. The p-value is very, very low. No? This is statistically significant, 3 stars to. Okay, so we reject this null hypothesis and we say that at least one of these predictors is not equal to 0. In fact, andito yung mga averages nila, no? Sa taas, ito yung mga estimates here. Okay, so that's just a quick review, class, of what we have discussed so far. Actually, nag-interaction din tayo. So interaction is very important, class, kasi we say that some variables, some variables are related to each other. Kunyari, here, income, student. Anong ibig sabihin itong interaction ng income at saka student? We're saying that the effect of income on the credit balance, okay, may be different between this this uh, this factor may be different between the student and the non-student. Okay, so we can check that. Okay, so you notice that the independent variable here, class, is quantitative. So we are we are interacting it with a factor. So pwede yun, class. Quantitative interacted with a factor. On the other hand, dito naman, class, quantitative interacted with a with a quantitative, no? Quantitative. So meron ding possible din, class, na factor times factor. Tapos meron pang, class, mas complicated na interactions. Can be income times student times maybe gender. So pwedeng more than two interactions. Okay, and that's more complicated, class. Mas complicated na yon, i-interpret. So we'll not go into that. But if you wish to go into that, class, marami namang mga references kayong pwedeng tingnan. For our purposes, class, and even for your case, I'm expecting at least dalawang variables na nag-i-interact. And maybe you can, hindi lang isa, no? Maybe at least you can identify two. But you'll have to study, class, yung variables nyo, ha? Kung plausible ba na nag-i-interact yung dalawang variables yun. Okay. So we did that last time, class, and then we did this. Ito yung natin, regression natin for those of you who were not there last time. Okay, I don't think I gave this to you, no? Oops, sorry. Uh, I think I asked you to write it. So I'll just share it for the benefit of those who were. Okay, so what's this, class? What's this? So we're generating now a new model MLR2. And then here, you have the same LM and then balance. No? Balance. Notice, class, itong income and then interacted with student. We said last time that this is just the same as income plus student plus income times student. Okay? So income plus student plus the interaction, income times student. So we have the main effects. Ano yung main effects natin? Income at saka yung student plus yung interaction nila. Ganon din tong limit, class. Limit times rating. So, ano sinasabi dito? This tells us that si limit daw, yung effect ni limit kay credit card balance is dependent on the rating, yung rating, credit rating ng ng individual. Okay, and the rest, class, are just the same. Just the same, and then data is equal to credit and then summary MLR2. So we ran this last time, no? And then what did we get here? Okay, so what do we see now? Andun pa rin yung mga main effects natin, income, student, limit, rating cards, etc. But now here, at the end, class, dito sa dulo, meron na tayong interaction dito. Interaction, and then they're statistically significant. So, was there a change? Si income at saka si student, significant siya dito, no? Si income at saka asan na si student natin? Ayun, significant siya. So dito, class, dun sa may interaction, significant pa rin siya, no? Notice na binago niya yung position ng, kasi dito, class, naging ang regression natin ngayon, income times student, no? So dito, pagsasama si income, student, and then sa dulo yung interaction, income, student. Then we have limit times rating, so magkasunod sila, and then times limit rating. Okay? Now, if we take a look at this, class, income is still significant. Student, yes, is also significant. Okay? Limit is also significant. So, ano ibig sabihin itong income, class? Itong income na to. Okay, so how do we interpret this negative $9.2? Okay, I think I gave this to you, di ba, last time? So how do we interpret yung main effects na income? Ang estimate ng negative 9.2. Okay, pareho ba siya dun sa yung walang interaction? Okay, iba, class. Si income dito negative 7.8. Okay, dito class, mas mababa siya, negative 9.2, lower. Kasi negative siya, no? So how do we read into that class? Okay, so it's very significant. Okay, so how do we read this? Yung income for non-students, okay, each 1K increase in income is associated with a 9.2 degree decrease in credit card balance, holding other variables constant. Okay, so how did we get that? How did we get that class? Ito, negative 9.2. Negative 9.2 class. So ito class, yung income na to, this is merely for non-student. Okay? This is merely for non-student. Why class? Why? Because for the student class, income, tinan nyo to, income, yes yung student, 1.105. So what does that mean class? Yung credit balance ni non-student is ano class? Lower, no? Negative 9.2. For the student, isasama mo to, yung 1.105. Okay? So 1.105 plus negative 9.2, approximate ko na lang ha. So that's around 8.1, negative 8.1. So what does that tell us, class? What does that tell us? Ano yung effect ni income kay sa credit card balance? So yung effect ni income kay credit card balance, it depends, class, kung student siya o hindi. Ito yon, no? Okay, so this is what we're saying. So if the effect of income on the credit card balance on the dependent variable will will be affected by this one if it's a student. Kasi kung income lang class, negative 9.2. Okay? So that's for the non-student. Paano kung student? Ito class. Pag student class, the effect of income on credit card balance is negative 9.2 plus 1.105. Positive kasi ito. So it will be negative 8.1. Okay? So again, class, ano ibig sabihin nun? Yung effect ni income on credit card balance will be dependent on whether the person is a student or not. Statistically significant to. So we're saying that there is indeed an interaction between income and student. Same thing class, no? Same thing. Yung limit. Ano yung effect ni limit on credit card balance? Okay? You can see here that limit interacts, si limit to, no? Significant siya. And it interacts with rating. Statistically significant din. So, anong interpretation natin yan, class? Here. Okay, asa na siya? Here. Di ba magkano siya? 0.189 here, no? 0.189. Here, class, 0.189. So, we say that on the average, okay, on the average, $1 increase in limit increases balance by 0.19. Okay? However, class, ito, okay, itong limit and rating, the effect of credit limit, okay, on balance increases as the rating increases. Paano natin nasabi yun na nag-i-increase yung effect ni credit limit on the credit balance, it increases as rating increases. Kasi class, positive yung ano natin. Positive yung here. 1.06, it's low, no? 0.00111, approximately 0.011, but it's positive. So ibig sabihin ng class, the effect of limit on credit balance, okay, it increases when rating increases and it decreases when rating decreases. So that's how you interpret class yung ano yung interaction. Okay, I know class na medyo confusing, no? Confusing. However, give yourself some time. I'm not expecting you to immediately grasp yung paano yung concept nitong interaction, no? And we're just limiting ourselves to two variable interaction. Hindi tayo pumunta sa three interacts, sa three variables. Kasi nga kung yung two medyo nakakalito din. But allow yourself some time to review this, no? And just let it sink, no? Maybe read it several times, okay, for you to uh, grasp more yung interaction. Granted talaga yung class na medyo nakakalito din yung interaction, no? But we have to include that class kasi we can't avoid class. We can't avoid the process of the choice of interaction kasi tingnan nyo class dito. Adjusted R squared niya 9663. Eh dito yung adjusted R squared natin 95% lang. So definitely class, mas mataas yung ano yung may interaction, no? Okay, because some variables really interact with each other. And pag hindi natin siya nama yon, magkakaroon tayo ng what we call omitted variable bias. Okay, so this is where we ended last time. May I know class if I shared this with you? I think nasa ano yan, di ba? Nasa notes, no? Am I correct class? Kindly confirm kung nasa notes siya yung interpretation ng ano. I think I purposely did that kasi alam kong medyo nakaka-confuse din tong ano yung interpretation na to. Okay, chat nga please class kung did I? Okay, yes, good. Okay, so you have the notes there, no? All right. And this one class, I just wanted to show you class na makikita natin dito yung ano yung effect ng income sa credit balance depending on the student, diba? So you can see the difference, no? And the difference seems to be increasing. Habang lumalaki yung income class, lumalaki yung difference between yung effect ni income on credit balance. Yung blue dito class, si non-student, yung red dito si student. And they're not the same class. Ang question, how does income affect credit balance? Credit card balance? Depends. Depends on whether the applicant or the individual is a student or not. Okay? So same thing class if we interact, kung subukan nyo i-interact nyo si income at saka si gender. Kasi possible din yun eh. Iba ba yung effect ng income kay credit balance? Iba yung association nila? Iba yung relationship nila? Kung women o men yung ano yung individual. That will be interesting and you can do that to your class. Madali lang yon kasi ito lang yon, no? We use the interactions package and then interact plot lang yung class. This is the model class. And then ang predictor natin si income and ang moderating variable natin is gagawin itong gender. Okay? So if I make class, ilagay ko lang dito, ano kunya, gender. May difference ba? Okay. Oh, no, wait, sorry. Okay, we can't do this pala class kasi hindi natin sinama sila sa ano, sa model. Dapat isama, no? If you want class, dapat isasama nyo si income times gender. So wala siya, no? Okay? Because we did not capture this. Okay, dapat nakasama siya sa ano sa dito sa equation natin. So I can change this as kunyari so kung babaguhin ko to class, magge-gender ako dito. So tatanggalin ko yung gender dito. Okay, kasi andi dito na siya, kasama na siya dito. It's already included here. So I'll make it a student. So I'm changing now the interaction. Income times gender. Okay. Let me run that class. And you can see here, okay, income, gender. Oh, take a look, class. Wait. Let me increase the size. Run this again. Okay. Income. Tapos hindi significant si gender, no? And even if you take a look at this class, income, gender, female, wala. So it means, class, that there's no interaction between income and gender. So the effect of income on credit balance is not affected whether the individual is a gender or is a female or a male. If you plot that here, class, pwede na to, no? Kasi nasa interaction na natin si gender. Okay? And you can see that the interaction, class. Okay, look, class. So it doesn't matter, class, kung male or female, no? Yung effect ng income on credit balance is not affected by the gender of the individual. Okay? So you can see this. All right, I hope that's clear, class. Pag may effect kasi, class, makikita nyo na magkaiba. So you can check that, class, for rating. So I'll leave this class to you. Ano, i-run ko lang siya, class, no? Kasi nasa yung limit at saka rating sinama natin. So may effect ba, class? Yes, you can see here, class, no? You can see here. So as you increase the limit, you notice, class, ano nangyayari? This is standard deviation. This is what will appear, class, kung ah, numerical yung ano natin, yung numerical yung ano natin yung sa interaction, no? Okay, you can see here that this is the mean, this is the average effect, yung dot na to, dotted line, average effect of limit on on the credit balance. Okay, so you can see here that, okay, one standard deviation, you can see here that as the income increases, okay, nababago yung balance, credit balance. Positive, nag increase yung dark line na to, class, no? Nag increase siya, okay, as the income increases. No? Sorry, not income, limit. When you increase the limit, class, okay, what happens is that, di ba ito, class, positive, no? Positive. The effect of limit on credit balance increases as you increase the rating. The greater the rating, class, the greater will be the effect of income on credit balance. Okay? All right. I think okay. I'll just copy this, Control C. Pre-preserve ko lang, class, yung kanina, no? Student. Baka makalimutan ko kasi. And then here is gender. Okay? It would be also good for you to check, no? Kung ethnicity naman, yung income at saka ethnicity. I'll leave that to you, class, as an exercise. Okay, wow, ang bilis ng oras. Okay, so let's move on, class. Okay, so what we did, class, was to compare, di ba? I-rerun ko lang, class, yung, sorry, MLR2 kasi binago ko kanina eh. So I'll rerun it. Yeah. Okay, maybe I should have make like this as an A, no? Para ma-preserve ko lang. Okay, you can do that, class. And then dito, may babaguhin lang ako, class, ha? Control C, Control V. Here, student, di ba? Student. Okay? That's MLR2. Dito naman, MLR2A, gender. So, ibang model to, class, no? Ibang model. Okay, so let's let's now go here, class, yung ANOVA natin last time. MLR1 and MLR2. Sorry, mali ba itong MLR1 ko? 2, 2, okay. Okay, MLR1 is the full model. Okay, MLR2 is the one with the interaction. And the one with interaction, class, is that's your full model. And this one, class, MLR1, that's your reduced model. Diba? This is your reduced model because MLR1 contains two less predictors. Ano yung two less? Yung, yung interaction ni income at saka ni student at saka interaction ni limit at saka ni rating. So mas maraming predictors, class, MLR2. The null hypothesis here for this ANOVA is that yung yung limit, yung income uh, times student is equal to 0, and then limit times rating is equal to 0. Ibig sabihin ng class, we actually don't need them. Okay? We don't need those interaction. But when we run this class last time, okay, we had this p-value. P-value na, tinan nyo to, class, di ba? Yung difference niya, MLR1, okay, yung full model natin. Ito naman yung may interaction. Kasi this includes yung income times student and also ito limit times rating. So mas full model to, no? Itong model 2. This one is the sorry, is the uh, reduced model. So the hypothesis here, class, is that the reduced model is better. And then we reject that. We reject p-value is less than 0.05. We reject that the better model is the reduced model. Ang sinasabi nito, class, mas maganda yung may interaction. Okay? So, mas maganda yung MLR2 compared to MLR1. Okay. So, now let's go here, class. Ito, hindi ko pa yata nabibigay sa inyo ito. Ano? Let's now do Control C. Okay, at least may madagdag tayo kasi wala pa sa atin nadadagdag eh. Ay, may nag-question ba? Wala. Okay. All right. So, let's now, this we did already before. So, alam natin tong ano, no, stepwise regression natin. Okay? Stepwise natin, class, yung MLR2, which is, it includes the interaction. Direction is equal to both means both forward and backward pwedeng gamitin. So if we run this class, okay, we can now see that yung step AIC, class, it means that ang gagamitin niya yung AIC. So ano sinabi dito, class? Start 3562.32 and then ang ginawa niya, class, okay, 3562.39. Kung tatanggalin si married, class, magiging 3561.4. Kung tatanggalin si gender, magiging 3561.6. Okay? Kung tatanggalin si limit rating, class, magiging 3687. So tataas yung AIC. So yung mga ano dito, class, those where the AIC will increase, class, bad yun, no? Kasi AIC, the lower the better. And dito, if we remove married, class, the AIC will become 3561.4, lower than this one. Okay? If we remove gender, it will become 3561.6, still lower than this one. Pero between married and gender, mas magandang tanggalin si married kasi it will result into a lower AIC. So ang first step niya, tanggalin si married, no? Magiging 3561.4. So ngayon, pag tinanggal si married, class, ito na yung model natin. So, from 3561.4, pag tinanggal si ethnicity, magiging 3560.4. Bababa na naman, class. Once again, your AIC will go down. So, from the list, class, ng mga predictors natin, the best is removing ethnicity kasi it will generate the lowest AIC, no? 3560.4. Here, 3561.4. magiging 3560.4. So, best choice, remove ethnicity. And then let's go here. So, magiging 3560.37 na, no? Pag nagtanggal tayo, class, pag nagtanggal tayo, if we remove gender, 3559.6, it's lower than the current, no? The step AIC 3560. If we don't remove anything, 3560 pa rin. Okay? If we remove education, mas mataas na. Pangit na to, no? And the rest, of course, mas pumapangit if you remove the others. Alright? So we remove gender. So tatlo na yung remove natin, class, di ba? Ano yung unang-una? Remove married, okay? Remove ethnicity, remove gender. Okay? So the resulting AIC is 3559.8, no? Okay, go here. If we don't remove anything, well, same pa rin yung 3559.6, no? If we remove education, magiging 3560.2 na siya. Tataas yung AIC natin. It will go up. Therefore, class, we stop here. Huwag na tayong mag-remove. None na. Okay? Because that will generate the best AIC. Okay, therefore, ang model natin, class, ito, no? Okay? Tinanggal natin yung, what did we remove? Kasama yung interaction, dalawang interaction. Remove married, wala na yung married dito. We remove gender, we remove ethnicity. So this is now your final model. Okay? Take note, class, rating, okay? Rating per se is not statistically significant. But you cannot remove this, class. You cannot remove rating kasi yung interaction niya with limit is statistically significant. Okay, so take note of that, class, no? Okay? Rating is not statistically significant, but because it interacts with limit, we cannot remove rating. Otherwise, mawawala itong limit rating. Okay? Education, class, hindi rin statistically significant, but removing education will increase your AIC. And the basis for this is AIC. So you notice, class, that when you're using AIC, variables that are not significant can still be part of the model. Okay? Anong mas maganda, yung p-value or yung AIC method? Uh, there are advantages, class, of using the AIC. So in your case, class, you use stepwise natin, gamitin yung step AIC, no? So even if the variable is not significant, it's okay. You just have to signify that it's not significant. And in this case, hindi rin natin pwedeng tanggalin yung rating kasi yung limit rating, class, interaction variable. Okay? Pag tinanggal nyo si rating, mawawala si limit rating, class. And okay, 96.62. This is higher than MLR2. Si MLR2, ano ba yung ano natin sa kanya? Ano ba yung uh, adjusted R squared? 96.55. Okay, yung final model natin, yung step model natin, class, is 96.62. Higher. Okay, but class, this is not the basis, ha? Kasi pwede rin, class, yung final model natin based on the stepwise regression is lower, has a lower adjusted R squared. That's possible. All right? So that's our stepwise. Okay. Now, class, let's learn how to do diagnostics. Nasa diagnostics na tayo ngayon. Eh, hindi natin to matatapos, class, but at least we were able to start with the diagnostics. What's diagnostics, class? Okay, we have the final model already. Ang tawag natin, class, sa final model natin is, okay, here, step model, ano? Why don't we do ANOVA first, class? I-run natin yung ANOVA, Control-Alt-I. ANOVA, class, ANOVA. Step model versus MLR2. MLR2. Yung MLR2, class, yung kasama lahat ng ano, di ba? Yun ang pinaka ano natin kasi bali 12 predictors. Yung step model natin, tinanggalan ng tatlo, no? From MLR2, we removed the three variables, no? Which are marriage, And then, ano siya? Marriage, education. Okay, and then marriage, and then ethnicity, and then, what was the last one class that we removed? Marriage, married muna, tapos ethnicity, and then, may isa pa. Ano yung una? Hmm, sorry. What was the first one, class? Married muna, no? Married, and then ethnicity, and then gender. Married, ethnicity, and then gender, class, yung mga tinanggal natin. All right, so let's run ANOVA. You know this, class, di ba? We compare the two models. The reduced model is step model. The full model is MLR2. Okay, run natin. And we expect, class, that we fail to reject. Ang p-value niyan is greater, yan, no, class, greater than 0.05. So which means we fail to reject the null hypothesis that the reduced model is better. So in this case, mas maganda nga, class, yung step model natin where we removed married, ethnicity, and gender. Okay. Quick pause, class, ako. Were you able to follow yung ano natin, yung ANOVA natin, pati yung stepwise natin, class? Okay, thank you, Chard. Okay, good. Jerry Lane, how about the others, please? Yan. Good. Thank you so much, class. Okay, thank you. I hope the others are also able to follow. All right. Again, if you have questions, class, you know the drill. Okay. We entertain all questions here. We we encourage questions here. Okay, because we learn from the questions. All right. So let's now now this one, class. We're now going to do diagnostics. What's diagnostics? Diagnostics is we check the model against the assumptions of classical linear regression model. Kasi sabi natin, yung classical linear regression model, kasi ang assumptions yan, dapat yung residuals natin, homoscedastic. Dapat constant yung variance niya. No? Walang trend, okay, no fanning out, no fanning in. Also, multicollinearity, dapat walang multicollinearity. And also, dapat yung residuals dapat walang outliers, okay? No influential points. And also, the residual should be normally distributed. So, everything boils down dun sa residuals. So, yung tinitingnan natin. So, what we first do is we plot, class, step model. Ito yung final model natin. And this will plot, class, 4 plots to. Actually, 5 yan, no? Tingnan natin, class. Pakirun nyo, class, to. Run yung plot ng step model. And we will see number 1, okay? Notice, class, residuals versus fitted values. So, pinat dito, class, yung residuals. You know residuals, di ba? Ito yung error terms, no? And then fitted values. Okay, and those, class, can be obtained. Alam nyo naman yun, no? Okay, tinan ko tong step model natin, class, here. Just to make sure that you understand this list of 14. Okay, here. So, anong laman itong full model natin? Step model natin, class. Okay, may konting time pa tayo. The step model, class, will contain so many objects. No? Yan, class. Andyan yung coefficients. Yan. Andyan, class, yung intercept, income, yan yung coefficients nila. Andito yung residuals, yung errors, class. Di ba kasi meron tayong actual value ng balance and then meron tayong model value. Okay? Saan yung model value natin? Ito, class, yung fitted values. Here. Yung fitted values natin, class, ang ginawa dyan, minultiply, class, itong mga parameters natin dun sa actual values niya. Okay, minultiply sa income, sa student, etc. So you get the fitted values. You have the actual values minus the fitted values, you get your residuals. Okay, so itong residuals, class, ang tinitingnan natin. No? So here, class, pinaplot yung residuals, number 1 versus the fitted values. Dapat, class, yung ano natin, yung residuals natin, dapat, it should concentrate along this line here, itong dotted line na to. Dotted line na to. But you can see here that the residuals, medyo, yung red line, no? Tingnan nyo yung medyo, ano niya, yung shape niya. So, it does not look good, class, yung residuals versus fitted. that tells us, class, that the variance might not be constant. Ito. So, pwedeng may problema tayo ng ng heteroscedasticity. Okay. Here, class, here. QQ residuals, ito yung, notice naman here, class, you have standardized residuals. So, iba naman ang minimeasure dito, class, yung standardized residuals. Pag dumating na yung time, class, just feel free to leave. I'll just extend a few minutes para lang umabot tayo dun sa gusto nating abutin today. And then yung quantiles dito, class. These are the QQ residuals, QQ plot, quantum plot, class. And dapat dito, class, here, the standardized residual should be along this dotted line na to. Yung quantum plot na yan. Mukhang okay siya, no? But meron tayo ditong number 3 to 4, 29, at saka 1 to 1. So this tells us that this observations ang class. Observation number 121, observation 323, observation 329, maybe, class, maybe, they could signal that they are outliers, no? Tingnan nyo, class, nasa dulo sila, no? Ito, nasa dulo ng, if we plot the normal distribution, mukha nasa right, ano siya, right, skewed to the right siya. Ito naman, nasa left, yung dalawang variable, dalawang values na to. But we'll check, class. We'll check. And take note, class, nag-introduce ito ng standardized residuals, which I'm going to explain in a while. Okay? Yung pangatlo, class, ito, ganun din to, no? So these are more, okay? Scale location, class, ang pinaplot niya, square root ng standardized residuals. Yung una, class, residuals, no? Ito naman, square root ng standardized residuals. So same effect din siya, class, no? Ito. However, this is more reliable, class, itong naka-scale yung data natin. Okay? Mas magandang gamitin itong square root ng standardized residuals kaysa yung residuals lang. Okay? And madali naman kunin yung square root ng standardized residuals. Pareho lang naman, class, yung x-axis, no? And then medyo pareho lang, no? Yung sorry. Yung third natin, class. Okay? Scale location, yan. And then you can see here also itong mga famous na observations ito, 121, 29, and 324. Mukhang consistent siya na pwedeng outliers yan, no? Or pwedeng influential points. And then lastly here, class, you have here residuals versus leverage. Ganun din, no? Standardized residuals at saka leverage. So I'll talk about residuals and yung leverage pala. Andi dito naman, class, yung mga points na to. So this tells us that these points could be leverage points. Okay? So we have three concepts, no? Outliers, leverage points, at saka influential points. Ang pinaka-critical doon yung influence points, which we'll discuss next meeting. So, we can, class, ito, no? Actually, hindi lang 4 na plots yan, no? Okay? Maybe I'll share this with you. Control C, chat. Okay. Pwede natin sabihin kung anong plot, which is equal to 1 hanggang which is equal to 5. Okay. 4, tapos merong hanggang 5 yan, class. Kaso dun sa automatic, class, ano ba to? Okay. You can try, class, which is equal to 1, which is equal to 2, etc. So pareho lang naman yung 4 na yan. May naiiba lang dito, class. Tingnan nyo tong 1, which is equal to 1. Using the plot then, class. No? Plot, which is equal to 1. Di ba ito siya yung una? Pareho lang. Pagdating sa 4, class, control enter. Ayun, may iba siya. No? May Cook's distance dito, which you cannot see here in the plot step model. So dito may Cook's distance. Again, this is important now for determining the influential points. Andi dito naman si observation 29, observation 262, observation 324. Mukhang problematic tong tatlong data points na to, class. And then Cook's distance. Okay, please take some time to at least research on what is Cook's distance. Ano ba yung ginagawa niyan? So it's a measure of influential points, no? All right. Now, I just want to share this with you, class, yung standardized residuals, class. Ito na lang, no? All right. Control C. I'll end in this one class. Okay, notice class, di ba may plot ng may plot ng standardized residuals, hindi yung residuals mismo. Tapos meron din plot ng square root of the standardized residuals. Now, the advantage of using standardized residuals is they help us diagnose regression models by putting residuals on a common scale. Okay, kasi standardized na siya, di ba? So may scaling na siya, making it easier to spot outliers and assess assumptions like normality. Okay, kasi pag raw residuals lang class, minsan mahirap siya i-assess. So that's why we have this what we call yung standardized residuals. Okay? So pag nag-standardized residuals tayo, kitang-kita natin outliers. Kasi ang standardized residuals can be from two standard deviations or three standard deviations. Plus minus 2, plus minus 3. Okay? So madali lang yung class, no? Standardized residuals here, I gave you. Hindi kasi natin makukuha yung standardized residuals sa LM object, yung sa step model. But you can compute it. R standard lang siya class. And there's another one class, yung studentized, no? Studentized. Okay, so we have standardized residuals and studentized residuals. Okay, so here class, makikita nyo to. There's a package called Broom. We can use the augment function, augment the step model to create this diagnostic stable. So I gave this code to you class. If you run this class, makikita nyo anong laman ng diagnostic stable. Yan class. Here, take a look. Ang laman niya class, andito yung dependent variable natin. Okay? Andito yung independent income, student, lahat ng mga independent variables natin andyan. Tapos, you have here fitted value, residual, dot hat, dot sigma, dot Cook's distance, that student, that standardized residuals. Okay? So, andito din. No? Okay? So, andito class yung mga information which is used for residual analysis. So, this is a very, very helpful package, si Broom class, in giving information about the residuals. Kasi di ba remember class that that diagnostics is all about residuals analysis. I'll just give this to you class. Okay, ito na lang control C para nabigay ko na sa inyo to. I encourage you to look at this class. Oops, sumobra. Hanggang saan ba to? Andito, no. Ito sa R. Control X. Hanggang sa R. Ang hirap. Ayan. Control X. Ayan na. Pakicopy na lang class. Control V. Okay, there you go. Okay. So, you can also make that class yung sa ito class, no? Yung sa ano natin, diagnostic stable natin. Using this function, pwede rin. And take some time class to read this, no? Ano yung dot hat, dot sigma, dot Cook's distance. Okay, if I run this class, and that will be all for today, you get the same thing. Ito, sinulat ko yung yung studentized residuals kasi wala dun sa eh. Okay, so my standardized residuals, my studentized residuals, yan class. Nadagdagan, yan. Studentized residuals, my leverage. Okay? All right, so that ends our discussion for today. I'm going to